Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author Matt Adams.
Do I have to win to have fun? I would hope not, but winning is a lot more fun than losing.
If you could go back to 2022, would you do anything different?
I don't regret anything I do. I've learned a lot, and I've always enjoyed the ride no matter where I'm at.
It seems like, some of those guys are maybe starting to realize that they're not getting everything that they wanted out of going over there, and that's obviously a great thing for the PGA Tour.
As we welcome you into the PXG Custom Studios, what's going on, folks? Matt Adams here with you for the Fairways of Life show. We have a ton to get through today. Really excited about it, too. We're going to start with a major perspective from a major champion, talking about all things really PGA Tour this week. LPGA Tour gets underway this week. There's a lot going on. The three sound cuts that you just heard from Scottie. I'd say let's break down Scottie, but it's kind of more of Scottie doing what Scottie has been doing, right? How special is the run that Scottie is on right now? I want to get into that in just a second. We're going to have a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour joining us coming up as well. Highlights from the TGL took place this week. I hope you guys are staying warm wherever you are. Crazy weather, record-breaking snowfall, record-breaking low temperatures in much of the country. So good luck to all of you that are enduring all of that as the days continue to progress. Angela Stanford is the United States Solheim Cup captain, and she's joining us right now somewhere in the airport because she's lead analyst this week on PGA Tour Live. I'm looking forward to working alongside her. I'll be doing the world television broadcast. She'll be on PGA Tour Live. Angela, what's going on? How are things going? Is your flight on time?
Good morning. Well, I'm guessing it's going to be a little delayed, but the roads weren't as bad as I expected getting here to DFW this morning, so hopefully not too much of a delay.
How is the Dallas area doing with this crazy weather the rest of the country's getting? Are you guys getting whacked by it too?
Yeah, I think our friends in Nashville and Memphis, I think those areas got it the worst. I didn't leave the house for 4 days, but only lost power for a couple hours. So unfortunately, our friends in Tennessee got it worse, I think, this time.
Yeah, the ice storm has been really bad, and then the record snow was incredible. All right, so you heard me talking about Scottie, and I do want to talk to you about this week's event and more, and I will. I want to talk to you about Solheim Cup and how you're hanging in there with that as El Capitan. But I want to start with Scottie because I think we have to. How special is it, what we're seeing from Scottie Scheffler right now?
Well, I think we can finally put him in that category with Tiger and Jack. And I think for a long time people hesitated with that. But, I think it's time to put him there. All of the things that he's accomplished so far, finally, we can say he's there. I think a lot of us knew it, but he just continues to produce. And I tell you, watching this last weekend, to have that much control with not only distance but accuracy in your first event of the year is pretty remarkable. It's kind of scary for everybody else the rest of the year.
I mean, when you look at his career highlights graphic that we have up right now, 4-time major champion. He won the Open in 25. Of course, he won the PGA Championship in 25. He's a 2-time Masters champion in 22 and 24. He won the Olympic gold medal in 24 in Paris. 20 now PGA Tour wins, lifetime exemption. 3 times he represented the United States in Ryder Cup, 2 times President's Cup. This is a President's Cup year. Incidentally, FedEx Cup champion, 4-time PGA Tour Player of the Year, #1 in the official world golf rankings at the ripe old age of 29. Angela, you kind of alluded to it when I asked you about this run that he was on, but a lot of people coming here were saying, well, there could be rust for Scottie Scheffler, et cetera. And I guess in your case, you were like, hold my snow shovel. This is the world #1. He did, pretty much exactly what you must have been expecting him to do because he's Scottie.
Yeah, and I think, And it kind of, I hate to kind of cross over here, but you kind of listened to Brooks when he was talking yesterday. And I think there's so much peace in Scottie's life right now. I had one off season where I won the first tournament of the year. And I remember going from 2008, 2009, I won that first tournament of the year. It's the first time I'd ever done that. But there was so much peace in my life. And there were, the things that I needed to do, I was doing very easily. And, I had support around me. And really, there was a time in my life where everything seemed pretty easy. It feels like Scottie is in that place in his life. He's married, has a beautiful, beautiful family, and on the outside looking in, it looks like things are very peaceful. And that, I think that allows him to go about his business. There aren't any distractions that we know of. And a lot of times that's really important. He can focus on golf. He seems to be, again, at peace in where he is in his life. So I think that says a lot.
To that point, it's a really interesting observation that you're making, because I'm sitting here thinking as you're speaking, one, in concurrence with what you just said, Scottie Scheffler does not seem to have changed as a person, regardless of the fact that his platform continues to ascend, right? And when you think about that, think about how many players that we've seen over the decades, right, who have, in essence, at least been impacted, if not consumed, by circumstance that they had built around themselves, the pressure and all the rest. Scottie's always seemed immune from that, even as we watched him with his first PGA Tour wins, his second came very quickly, and the race was on, and the same thing with his major championships. Can you think of another major champion, maybe Jack or even someone on the LPGA side, that just seemed to be so resolute, so comfortable in their own skin that they weren't impacted by all the things that they themselves were doing?
Well, and that's why I think we can put him in that category with Jack and with Tiger. And if you think about even Annika, you go down the list of women that have won multiple, Kari Webb, they're there to win tournaments. That's what drives them. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about all those. It's wanting to win golf tournaments and to win majors. And you think about how Jack went about it. You think about how Tiger went about it. And for me to watch Kari Webb do it and Annika do it, they're not caught up in all those little things that could distract them. And I think that's why Scottie fits with those guys, and that he just wants to win. He wants to play his best and he wants to win. And everything else that comes with it is great, but that's not why he's there.
I want to ask you about the Solheim Cup, as I promised you that I would, because it's an incredible honor, obviously, that you've been put in that position, but it's with merit on top of that. How much of an impact is it making day to day on your life?
I do something every day for the Solheim Cup, and proudly. I've loved every second. I think it's one of these positions that you can do as much as you want or as little as you want, and I am choosing to go all in. It's going to be my only shot, and I love it. I love the Solheim Cup. I love watching our players who are finally teeing off this week. So I've loved every second, and I try to do something every day to prepare this team to go to the Netherlands and play their best.
When you say you're preparing the team every day, what type of a message do you have for your team, given the fact that this is an away game?
It's a lot different when you go over there and you listen to men and women talk about Ryder Cup or Solheim Cup. It's the hardest thing to do. This will be our 10th trip over there. We've only won 3 times, so it's very difficult. I think for us, we just have to be in a good headspace. I need them to come over ready to play golf and leave every distraction behind. And it is my job and the assistant's job to help them do that, to kind of get them ready and to allow them to be who they are when they get there. So it's our job as captains to kind of clear the path for them and allow them to show up and just play. I don't need them to be something they're not. I need them to be who they are when they get there, and that's our goal.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that the next most important United States team in the world of golf is going to be yours, and it's coming off the debacle that was the Ryder Cup on Long Island, I can see what you're saying. We've got to put the noise aside. You've got to be in the right headspace to come out and represent your country and represent yourself and represent your team and be able to perform.
There's so many distractions when you play away from home. I think that's anything in life. Anytime you're away from home, there are things that you can't control. You know, your rhythm's off. You know, it's just everything is a distraction, and we have to figure out how to manage that, how to be focused, and how to go out there and still play really great golf. That European team is going to be stacked, and they're going to be really good, and they're going to be hungry. So we have to go over there and be pretty focused.
This week, of course, as you heard me mention, is the start, folks, of the LPGA in Orlando, and it's a combined event. It's got celebrities involved as well, and the champions on the LPGA side, of which there were 29 different champions last season. When you hear that, when you think about that kind of parity, what are your thoughts heading into the 2026 LPGA campaign?
Well, I think this year I don't think we'll see that. I think there's some amazing things going on our tour. It's hard to win, but we're seeing that the pool of talent is getting deeper. More people can win, but now it's time for those people to win multiple times. You can't win multiple times if you don't win the first one. So I think this year we will see people win more than once. But I think last year was a good year for us in that we started to see some new faces establish themselves, and now they're going to take that next step. It's also a Solheim Cup year, so I expect the Americans to play well. Excuse me. I expect the Europeans to play well. So it's going to be a fun year to watch the LPGA Tour.
You mentioned Brooks Koepka. Of course, Brooks is making his return to the PGA Tour at the Farmers Insurance Open this week. You will be the lead analyst of that coverage for PGA Tour Live. Looking forward to seeing you around the compound. As I mentioned, I'll be on the other side on the world television broadcast of it. But how excited are you about this event? We're talking about Torrey Pines. We're talking about the South Course. We're going to get a look at the North Course as well. And yeah, Brooks is part of that story too.
I'm so excited. I feel, I'm sorry, I feel extremely honored to be a part of this telecast and this tournament. And it's going to be fun to watch and fun to talk about. And I'm happy to see Brooks back. Look, you want to see the best players playing against the best players all the time. Listening to his press conference, it sounds like he just wants to play golf and he wants his family close. And, you know, the thing that I thought was pretty interesting, I was watching Golf Channel, and there was a stat about his last 10 major starts and how he hadn't been in the top 10. But correct me if I'm wrong, I believe last year he missed 3 of the 4 cuts in the majors.
That's correct.
And when you're talking about a guy that's won 5 of these, those players are different. We don't see these players that win 5 or more majors, really. So there's something that drives him in winning those majors, but you can't prepare for a major just showing up to the major. And in my opinion, I think he's craving that competition that makes him better, that when he gets to the major, he has a chance to win. That's what kind of stuck out to me when I was kind of caught off guard. I'd forgotten that he hasn't played well recently in majors, and I think that wears on you. And, you know, towards the end of my career, I started playing really bad in majors, and it's not fun. So I think he wants to be closer to his family or have his family closer to him. It's hard when you're traveling all over the world to have your people close. And I think he wants to be ready for the majors. So it's going to be fun to watch, and I can't wait.
Yeah, we're very, very much looking forward to it as well. The field itself, 147 players as of this morning, 13 of the top 25, 3 of the top 10 represented in Xander, J.J. Spawn, Justin Rose, as well. The field is always stout. The venue is so unique. It's kind of one of these, it's an American treasure. Is that fair to say?
Of course. You know, if you can play a major golf tournament on this golf course, yes. And I love it. I love that they're coming off of the American Express, a 3 courses that you could take it deep. And you look forward to next week in the desert again, a course that maybe you can take it deep. And you have kind of this perfect venue kind of right in between that makes the players really focus and really hit great golf shots. So I think it's placed perfectly, and it's going to be fun to watch. Obviously, it's not going to be a 20 under winner. So I think sometimes fans like to see players, really work.
Yeah, that kind of variety is great from week to week. Angela Stanford is the captain of the United States Solheim Cup team. She will be a part of the coverage on PGA Tour Live that will be featured on ESPN Plus this weekend. Lead analyst for Angela. Always a pleasure, my friend. Looking forward to seeing you in just a few hours.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go catch this airplane.
See ya. Safe travels to you. All right, folks. Ben Hogan Golf is back. BenHoganGolf.com is the website you can log on to and see everything inspired by this legend. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to peruse the website before, but if you haven't, please do so, because what you'll see in their equipment is absolute artwork combined with all of the latest technology. And when it all comes right down to it, I know what you guys want. You want to slip the clubs into your bag that have Ben Hogan's name etched right into the metal. Become a legend in your golf world as well. More of the Fairways of Life show coming up right after this.
Golfers today are a different breed.
Who? Me?
We see the game in a different way.
We all have our own styles.
We swing our own swing.
But we have one thing in common.
We are all about the details.
Introducing the Revel line of grips from Superstroke. With 3 distinct offerings to choose from, the Revel is in the details.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The Rome clubs are costing you strokes. PXG can fix that for an amazing new price. PXG Black Ops drivers, double gold winning, effortless distance, and game-changing forgiveness. PXG Gen 7 irons, unmatched quality, precision, and a feel so pure you'll never want to swing anything else. Save your season and save with incredible new pricing on Black Ops and Gen 7. Book your fitting now. PXG, you've never played like this before.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
Head down, water down the left, bunker down the right, take the club straight back.
Wandering minds. When golfers lose their focus, they're totally... But Bridgestone can help. Introducing Mindset. The ball scientifically designed to keep you focused. First, identify your target. Next, visualize your shot path.
And then focus on the green dot and smooth one.
Play the Tour B and E12 with Mindset technology.
See what happens when we work together? Stuff like that.
What does it take to be an original?
Cam knows something about that. So does Chi-Chi, Charlie, and you get it. In 1955, we stepped onto the scene. Now a new generation of pros are wearing the most iconic styles in the game. The fit, the feel, the look. It's all an expression of you. Original Penguin. Here for the good times.
Middle market businesses are facing unprecedented shifts, which demand tailored solutions and decisive action. RSM stands as the unwavering leader of the middle market, empowering you to take charge of change and conquer this era of transformation. RSM, Experience the power of being understood.
As we welcome you back to the Fairways of Life show from wherever you are joining us, Matty here with you. Dom and Andrew are behind the glass. You can see the leaderboard that Andrew has up there. Scottie Scheffler winning again on the PGA Tour, winning right out of the gate in 2024. So that's 20 wins for Scottie Scheffler. When he had a chance to address the media, because that's a threshold that is extremely rare, extremely significant on the PGA Tour, he was asked about just that.
To be honest, I had not really thought about that very much. That's a pretty cool feat to get to. This week in particular was a nice week. Got off to a good start over there on La Quinta, and then I came over here and kept the momentum going on these two courses. And today was a day in which I played pretty nice and did some good things out there. And I hit a lot of wedges really close to the hole and gave myself some easy birdies. And then when I was out of position, did a good job of getting the ball up and down. Anytime you can get mentioned with those guys, it means you're doing some stuff right. At the end of the day, it's not something that'll occupy many of my thoughts, day to day. When I was thinking about getting ready for this week, I was just trying to prepare and do the best that I could. And, hopefully we'll get out of here tonight and then get ready to gear up again, get some rest and then get ready to kind of do it all over again in a couple of weeks. But I don't spend too much time thinking about the milestones or anything like that.
It was so interesting. Every chance we get to hear from Scottie Scheffler and the glimpse that it provides us into his mental state, his emotional state, and how he is impacted or even impressed with what he himself accomplishes, it is incredibly significant. 20th win in his 151st start at the age of 29 years, 7 months, 4 days. That's the second fewest starts to get there. He becomes the 40th player to reach 20 wins on the PGA Tour and moves to a tie for 36 on the all-time win list. He's the first player since Tiger Woods to earn 20 PGA Tour wins under the age of 30. Tiger did it at 24 years, 5 months, and 19 days. This marks the second fewest starts, 151 in his case, to reach 20 wins behind Tiger, who did it with 95. He is now, of course, eligible to be a lifetime member on the PGA Tour. Players with 20 or more PGA Tour wins or 4 or more majors before age 30, Nicklaus, Woods, Scottie Scheffler. It is incredible. And then you heard him react to the fact of being in the company of the greats. And this comes back to what I was just talking about with Angela and saying he just does not seem to be consumed with his own accomplishments. It doesn't change him. It doesn't seem to change his posture or his perspective. It is incredible. He also spoke about, with all that I just said, is it still fun?
Do I have to win to have fun? I would hope not, but winning's a lot more fun than losing.
What's the most fun part about competing? Is it winning or is it something else?
Well, I think it's really cool to step up there in the first tee, and I was just a kid dreaming of playing golf on the PGA Tour, and so to be able to come out here and play in final groups, play in front of crowds, play on the tour that I dreamed of playing on is really a cool feeling. And being in the arena, being in contention is a lot of fun, just because it's something that we practice and work so hard for. So when you get in those moments, you're prepared and you're able to enjoy the competition. This is something that is fun for me, but it can be really hard when things don't go your way. It's a lot more fun winning than losing.
Yeah, well, things have gone his way. Check this out. His last 40 events. So just let this simmer for 1 second. He's had 15 wins, including 3 major championships, a gold medal, a Players, a Tour championship, and the FedEx Cup. 35 top 10s. 15 wins, 35 top 10s in your last 41 events is incredible. Let's go back to 2024. In 20 events, he had 8 wins, including a major and 17 top 10s. 25. In 20 events, he had 6 wins in 2 majors and 17 top 10s. In 2026, he's right picking up where he left off with his first event and his first victory. So for Scottie Scheffler, to that point, he was asked, are you surprised at all at how sharp you were, especially as the tournament progressed the first start of 2026?
I mean, there's always a certain amount of rust when it comes to playing competitive golf. I think coming out here, you can simulate it as best you can at home, but you can only get into the heat of the moment where you're posting a score and you're in contention when you're at a tournament. And so it's nice to see some of the stuff that I've been practicing and working on is paid off. I work really hard at keeping my wedges sharp, and so it was nice today to get some good numbers and be able to hit some wedges in there really close. And I mean, it's a lot easier holding a 2-footer than it is, a 10-footer. And so those little differences sometimes in the sharpness of where I'm at with my wedges can make a big difference. And today was a day in which I was able to make a good amount of birdies, and a lot of those birdies weren't really, long putts. And so definitely I think helps, especially when you're playing in the final group.
You have 20 now. Do they feel different, or how do you process them?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think sometimes it's hard to process when you're in the moment. In order to get to the position of being in the final group, in order to get to the position where you have a large lead, you have to do such a good job of mentally staying in a good place on the golf course. And so most of the day I'm trying to remain calm, focus on the things that I can execute. And then it's a matter of going out and hitting the shots. And so in order for me to do that, I have to stay focused. I have to stay relaxed. And so when the tournament's over, I think you spend so much of the day trying to really stay ready, stay on top of where things are at. And so when the tournament ends, it's kind of like, okay, it's almost more of a relief now that the day's over and, I'm able to win the tournament. This golf course can put a lot of stress on you. I mean, especially playing with a lead. I mean, it's challenging finishing off the tournament. You got an island green on 17, water down 18. I mean, there's trouble all around the golf course. And so I would say it's a challenging place to play with the lead. And so when the tournament's over, I'm a bit tired from really focusing so hard the entire round.
Scottie doing Scottie things. All right, TGL highlights. Boston Common Golf versus the Bay Golf Club. Tied at 1. Michael Thorne Bjornsson on the tee at the 5th. 264-yard par 3. That's right. You heard me right. With this nice shot. It's not over yet. Watch this. Watch it. Watch it come down the floating ledge. Fantastic. That would cozy up there. Concession would be made, a 2-1 advantage for Boston. We head to the very next hole, and watch this. Wyndham Clark smashes into it. You're looking at the longest tee shot in TGL history. It settled 371.5 yards away. Digitally roll back that ball. However, it doesn't matter when you have Rory on the other team doing what he did around this green on the very same hole. Rory, a little bit of magic. He would end up with a conceded birdie, and that would be another point for Boston. Now they're up 3-1 as we head to the 7th. Back to Thorne Bjornsson from 14 feet. There you are. There it is. Another win. Boston running away with things. The odds are stacking up now against the Bay Club. Look at that trio. Locked in. All right, Boston cruising at this point as we reach the par 3 14th. It's 8-1. Thor Bjornsson from 144 yards. And he puts the nail in the coffin with that one. Spins it back. That would put Boston Common up 9-1, and that would be where they would finish it. No other way to say it. It was a beatdown for Rory and Keegan's crew as they talked about it afterwards.
It was fun. We came out of the blocks early. And yeah, I mean, we started well. Michael's been an amazing addition to the team. Has sort of taken to this style of golf really, really easily. Much easier than Keegan and I did last year. But I think with a little more experience from us, we're getting more comfortable in here too. And it's showed over the first 2 matches.
It means a lot to me to play for a Boston team. It was my dream as a kid to do that. And, I'm 39 years old now. I'm getting to fulfill a dream that I had as a kid. So this truly means a lot to me to represent this city and this region that we're from. And so, we want to come in here. I mean, last year was that was brutal. And we want to go there and win the whole thing this year. And we're off to a good start.
All right, Boston Common is looking to assert themselves in 2026, perhaps makes amends for a disappointing 2025 season for them. All right, Fairways of Life show will be back in 30 seconds. When we come back, we're going to be joined by a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour and someone I am pumped to be working with this week. Stay with us.
get your golf hormones raging, I don't know what will. Does Horschel do it again?
As we welcome you back to the Fairways of Life show, absolute delight to have your company from wherever you are joining us. Matty here with you. Andrew and Dom are behind the glass. Daniel Chopra is a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour, 14 wins across the course of his career amongst the professional ranks. That includes on the PGA Tour. That includes on the Korn Ferry Tour as well. And we will be working together this week during the World Television feed of the PGA Tour, Farmers Insurance Open. Cannot wait to be in his company. All right, Daniel, what's going on, my man? How are things?
Things are great. It's been a wonderful off season. I haven't really done much. I played one round of golf, and that was on Christmas Eve with my son and the father-son at Bay Hill. And that's the only round of golf I've played in the last year.
Well, you're going to have plenty of time to be immersed in golf over the coming days and coming hours, my friend, at the Farmers Insurance Open. You know, the Farmers Insurance Open, because of the venue, because of the field, because of the list of past champions, I'll give you guys a note of some of them. Gary Player in 63, Billy Casper in 66, Jack Nicklaus in 1969, Johnny Miller in 82, Davis Love III in 96, Mark O'Meara in 97, John Rahm in 17. He also won a U.S. Open at the same venue. Justin Rose in 19. What do you think it is about Torrey Pines? What do you think it is about the Farmers Insurance Open that attracts the strength of field that it always has, including Tiger winning there multiple times?
Well, I mean, Tiger's won there, 9 times, including the Junior World and U.S. Open, and I think 7 Farmers Insurance Opens as well. Exactly. It's a golf course that is built for just the best players on the planet. It is brutally penal if you miss the fairways, the rough. I mean, if you miss a fairway, it is 3.5, 4 inches of that thick Kikuyu rough. The greens are smallish, and they all kind of slope in towards the center of the green. So if you miss the green and the bunkers on the side, you're pretty much always short-sighted yourself and very difficult to get the ball up and down. And of course, with the cooler temperatures and you're at sea level, it plays every bit of it's what it is, 7,600 and something odd yards now, lengthened from when I played the Junior World there back in the late 90s. It was a brute back then. It has been lengthened over 700 yards since then. So it's just a tough golf course, which really goes to show the quality of players that have won around Torrey Pines over the years, the ones that you mentioned. It brings out the best players.
I've got so much, dude, that I want to talk to you about, and I know this is going to just flow over to the week that we have together. Watching Blades Brown last week, he reminded me so much of Jordan Spieth circa 2013, 2014 into 2015 in major ways. I want you to hear this cut from Blades where he reflects on the week that was so that you can provide us, please, with some insight. Here's Blades.
Yeah, I mean, I have so much to take away from this week. I mean, getting to play with Scottie Scheffler in a final group at 18 years old is I had to pinch myself a couple of times just to make sure I was this was real. But yeah, I mean, not the Sunday that I would have liked, but I overall had so much fun playing in the American Express this week. Yeah, I mean, I was feeling really good throughout the entire round. I'd say one of the coolest things that I learned today was how underrated Scottie Scheffler's short game is. To see it in person and just to look at kind of the trajectory and the spin that, and just the control that he has with his wedges and short game, and obviously his putting is insane too, was really cool to watch. So I'm definitely going to go work on that. I mean, I feel like the more golf I play, the more I just feel. I'd say that it was a good thing. I mean, 8 rounds, I know sounds like a lot, but I was having a lot of fun. I mean, you're telling me I get to play in a PGA Tour event and to play with Scottie Scheffler and see him win it, that was insane. I mean, shoot, I could probably write a book about what I've learned these past couple of days, but just knowing that I can compete out here. And it was so cool watching Scottie win in person and getting to play with him. And he's such an unbelievable guy. He talked to me numerous times throughout the round and it was giving me a lot of encouragement. So it was awesome.
What is your reaction to Blades?
Well, I mean, the first thing that jumps out at me is I watched a lot of it. It's one of my favorite events on the PGA Tour. Just the beauty of Southern California this time of year, the way the golf courses are with the dormant rough and the overseeded fairways. Watching him in that, it was a second round, I believe, at the tournament course, Nicklaus tournament course. I don't think I've punched a couch as hard as I did several times over when he was 12 under par for the round with 3 holes left to play with a par 5. And he has an iron in hand. I mean, he's got 183-mile-an-hour ball speed off the tee, which is up there with the Rory McIlroy. And I was rooting so hard for him to become the youngest player in the history of the game on the PGA Tour to break 60. And I could not believe. But the quality of the iron shots that he hit, coming down those final 3 holes under the pressure, knowing that he was playing for some history, every single shot was landing around the flagstick. It really was quite impressive. It was a shame that he wasn't able to go ahead and post that magical number, but just the quality of shots goes to show that he is completely confident in the absolute heat of the moment. And that is a huge X factor for any young player trying to make success on the PGA Tour.
You know, aside from looking like he could be cast as the next lead in one of the Spider-Man franchise movies, to what you were just alluding to, he has like an old head. He's an old soul on a young body. He's only, as you mentioned, 18 years and change, but he's able to go out there not only to perform because of his own natural talents and abilities that he has honed, but also when he spoke of how much he learned from just watching Scottie Scheffler. Even that was incredibly impressive to me, because this is a piece of art that's still in development.
Yeah, exactly. And, and let's not forget the fact that was the youngest player, I think, in Korn Ferry Tour history when he made the cut down here in Central Florida a few years ago. I think he was 14, maybe 15 years old, shot 21, I think, under par for the week. I mean, he is one of these young phenoms. He's right there, as you mentioned, Jordan Spieth, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' junior career was, it was probably the most well-documented junior career in the history of the game. Blades Brown is not that far away either with some of his accomplishments as a junior golfer, number 1 junior golfer in the world. And that he's now just kicking off from where he left off. He's used to winning golf tournaments, and that the golf ball doesn't know whether you're playing in an amateur or a professional event, and your mind doesn't know the difference either. Pressure is always going to be relative to the situation that you're in at hand. At the moment, it is the most important shot in your life, and he's been able to deal with it over the course of his junior career. Now he's 18 years old, playing on the PGA Tour. Very close. Yes, it was a slow Sunday for him, but again, it's going to be a great learning experience. But he has, I think, all of the pieces that fit together to potentially add up to being a superstar on the PGA Tour.
He was talking so much about how impressed he was with world number 1, Scottie Scheffler. Obviously, we're all impressed with Scottie Scheffler with what he has accomplished, and that list of accomplishments continues to progress. Daniel, with Scottie, it's so hard to put your finger on it. If it's physical, is it mental? Is it emotional? If you try to go to the well of strength for Scottie Scheffler, would you point to one of those things in particular, or is it a gumbo of all three?
I think just straight off the bat, yes, it's a gumbo of all three. But it also goes back to, what was his quote? I think it was was it the Open Championship? Or one of the, I can't remember exactly what event it was. And again, paraphrasing a little bit here, but talking about like, what's the point of the whole thing? I'm kind of bored with, he almost felt bored by winning. It wasn't, he's changed his tune a little bit. I think he got a little bit of criticism or pushback from, doesn't really even care. But that's part of the reason why it makes it so easy for him to win, because it almost seems like he doesn't care. He's happier to live his life with his family and his wife and his kids than he is maybe out on the golf course. And it's just incredible what he can do. But like, if we talk about the physicality of Scottie Scheffler, I don't think there's anybody, maybe Tiger Woods, in the peak of his career that was better at controlling distance. There's nobody on the PGA Tour right now that can even come close to him when it comes to controlling distance out of the fairways, with wedges all the way down to 4-irons. You watch him on tour, it seems like every single shot is always pin high, is landing. if the greens are firm, it's going to land, 7 or 8 steps short and bounce up there. If the greens are soft, it's going to pitch perfectly hole high. But he is hole high more than anybody else on the PGA Tour. And Ben Hogan was the first to say that if you're hole high, you're never that far away from the hole location. Even though you feel like you might have pulled or pushed a wedge, you're never more than 10 or 15 feet away.
Incredible stuff. Daniel Chopra is our guest. He's a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. He is lead analyst this week for the PGA Tour's world television broadcast that I am delighted that I'll be sitting alongside of him as host. He'll be back with more right after this because I want to go down the road with, we started, you heard us, talking about this week's event. Well, this week's event is making a great deal of news because it is the return of Brooks Koepka. We have sound from Brooks coming up, and I want to get reaction from Daniel to the same right after this.
You think you know Florida golf? Think again. 4 legendary courses and counting. Carved from reclaimed earth where a mining past meets a golf future. Wild but intentional, this is golf that makes you feel something. Legendary courses, unforgettable moments. This is Stream Song.
Head down, water down the left, bunker down the right, take the club straight back.
Wandering minds. When golfers lose their focus, they're totally... But Bridgestone can help. Introducing Mindset. The ball scientifically designed to keep you focused. First, identify your target. Next, visualize your shot path.
And then focus on the green dot and smooth one.
Play the Tour B and E12 with Mindset technology.
See what happens when we work together? Stuff like that.
Imagine your ultimate golf experience. There's a good chance it's Michigan's Magnificent 11. 11 spectacular courses from Boyne Golf, varied in both topography and play. Boyne Golf was named the #1 best golf destination in USA Today Reader's Choice 2025. And the Highlands at Harbor Springs is the #2 golf resort in that same USA Today poll. The ultimate golf experience. That's Michigan's Magnificent 11.
This is golf.
A shot, honey.
And this is Golf's Superstore.
Oh, yeah, we'll take this.
The Rome clubs are costing you strokes. PXG can fix that for an amazing new price. PXG Black Ops drivers, double gold winning, effortless distance, and game-changing forgiveness. PXG Gen 7 irons, unmatched quality, precision, and a feel so pure you'll never want to swing anything else. Save your season and save with incredible new pricing on Black Ops and Gen 7. Book your fitting now. PXG, you've never played like this before.
Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. You know, Hub's Peanuts has been cooking up the top 1% of peanuts for over 70 years. And these aren't your average nut. These are super extra large Virginia peanuts cooked in the USA. Family-owned Hub's Peanuts have more protein than any other nuts. So whether it's a boost on the course or a special gift, the variety of flavors guarantees Hub's Peanuts is just what you need. Family-owned, nutritious, delicious, and sustainable. Hub's Peanuts, it's just right. HubsPeanuts.com.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
4! This is golf, and this is Golf Superstore, the only place you can walk in for a free driver fitting, have it built, and tee it up the same day. Try Fit and Go today.
Did you know, presented by FlightScope, this is the i4 rangefinder. It's important for you to know how good you can be, and you can do it with a caddy in your pocket. Log on to flightscope.com. Brooks Koepka, check this out. Did you know his last PGA Tour event was March in 2022? That was at the World Golf Championships. Match play, he ended up finishing a tie for 5th. His last top 10 finish in traditional stroke play PGA Tour event was in February 22 at the WM Phoenix Open, where he finished tied for 3rd. Since leaving for LIV, he played in 16 majors. He won the 23 PGA. He finished tied for 2nd at the 23 Masters, and he recorded no other top 10s. His highest finish otherwise was last year, a tie for 12th at the U.S. Open. His majors, 2017 to 2021, in 18 starts, he had 4 wins, 3 runners-up, and 12 top 10s. He has not represented the United States in a team event since the 2023 Ryder Cup in Rome. He went 1-1 there. Again, log on to flightscope.com so you can check out the new remarkable and revolutionary i4 rangefinder. Okay, Daniel Chopra is here with me. And Daniel, I want to start by having you hear this from Brooks Koepka so I can get your reaction to Brooks coming. This is just from his press conference this week, so we can get a reaction from you on Brooks Koepka, on his mindset heading into this week's competition.
Just my family. A lot's gone on over the past 5-6 months with my family. And that played a big role in it coming back, and then just having conversations with my wife, my team, and being able to make that decision to come back was I guess it was tough conversations, but it was what was best for me and best for my family, and I think that was a decision that my wife, myself, everybody, my team, thought that was best as well.
If you could go back to 2022, would you do anything different?
I don't regret anything I do. I've learned a lot, and I've always enjoyed the ride no matter where I'm at, and I think that's one thing that's you always learn from anything you're doing. So I have no regrets. But at the same time, I'm excited for this new chapter. Grateful to be out here. For Brian Rolap, Jay, Tiger, everybody that was able to get me out here. I'm super grateful for it, and I'm excited. I'm not going to get into too much detail about the family issues that we've had. But yeah, I believe it was September, right around the Ryder Cup week. We were actually we had to be in New York. We were up there for a little bit, and circumstances kind of changed in my family a little bit. And then that's when I guess things started to change and evolve, and just start to have those conversations of what's best for my family. And so we took it from there, and then, I was, me and Liv, we left that agreement. Everybody was happy with it, and they understood the situation that I was in, and just excited to be out here. So I made that, I think, the 23rd I was released, and then called Tiger right away, and then that process got the ball rolling. Called him. I've always had a good relationship with Tiger, and I felt like that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to, once I had the opportunity to, I guess, get reinstated on PGA Tour, it was exciting, and kind of really didn't know what to do. And that was the first person that kind of came to mind. I didn't know Brian. I didn't have a relationship with him, obviously, just because he's pretty new. And Jay was going to be the next call, but I felt like Tiger was somebody that I've relied on in the past for questions and answers, and how to deal with things, and I felt like that was maybe the most comfortable call for me.
All right, Daniel Chopra is my guest, a multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour. He's lead analyst this week for the coverage that I'll be hosting for the world television broadcast of the PGA Tour's Farmers Insurance Open. Daniel, is it just me, Or is this a slightly different Brooks Koepka than we're used to seeing? I'm not sure if you saw the entirety of his press conference. He was laughing. He was talking about being nervous. It didn't have that same kind of gladiatorial type posturing that we normally see from Brooks. How much is this a pushing of a restart button?
Well, I think he's going to be extremely excited. As you just mentioned, the restart button. Sometimes when you played a video game and you've kind of had it going sideways a little bit, and then you take a little time off, play something else, come back, and then you're familiar with the golf courses. It's almost like he's a rookie again, and those exciting feelings, reigniting those feelings of being new again out there, but with the familiarity of the golf courses and the people he's going to be playing with. And make no mistake, he's one of the biggest superstars out there in the world of golf right now. So him coming back, for him, I think he'll be extremely excited, maybe a little bit reinvigorated as well. As you mentioned, it was a bit of a lackluster performance. Again, he's not playing a lot on the PGA Tour, and his form, if anything, has not been to his own expectations, you'd have to imagine. But I think this, coming back to the PGA Tour, is something that could get those juices flowing again, and we might just be able to see Brooks Koepka at the very top of his game.
Maybe this is kind of a celebration of the obvious in asking you this, but I get why Brooks coming back is good for the PGA Tour. We're all on board with that. Does that also mean that it's good for the game of golf?
You know, I have to say so because, I mean, yeah, I was more upset about some of the players that badmouthed the PGA Tour, considering the fact that the PGA Tour was the platform which gave them their opportunity to get invited to play on the LIV Tour for XYZ millions of dollars, which secures them financially for the rest of their lives. The players that did say nothing, and I completely understand, you're professional golfers at the end of the day. You do what's best for yourself and your family. The finances were very hard to turn down. The fact that he's the first to really come back to the PGA Tour, kudos to him. And I'm really hoping that he will be the first of many to make that transition back onto the PGA Tour, because I think the thing that I was most upset about is because I'm such a big golf fan. I love watching golf tournaments, and not having all of the best players, the Jon Rahms, the Brooks Koepkas, the Dustin Johnsons playing alongside Xander Schauffele, Scottie Scheffler, all those guys together. I was upset about the fact that I was being robbed of my experience of watching the best golfers play together, unless they were all in the majors. But so I'm very happy that this is the first step back to potentially having maybe a mini exodus from the LIV back to the PGA Tour. We'll have to wait and see.
One of those players that we're going to be seeing this week, of course, is Xander Schauffele, and Xander showed us form. He's coming off a win in the fall off the last time that he's teed it up, and it was kind of a progression that we were seeing through Xander in gaining form in the second half of 2025. What do you think we could expect from Xander in 2026?
Well, anytime you get a win, especially late in the season, you carry those feelings through the offseason. Again, that's a tough period, though, to continue that rich vein of form. But, what I'm really looking for this year, 2026, is there somebody that can step up and give Scottie Scheffler a little bit of a run for his money? Because now when Scottie's winning, he's winning by Tiger Woods-like margins. He's winning 5-6. He was 5 ahead with 2 to play, made a double on 17, still won in a canter last week at the American Express. But it just seems like there's nobody that can hold a candle to Scottie Scheffler right now. So I'm looking at names like Ludwig Åberg, Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, potentially with his comeback to the PGA Tour, Rory McIlroy. Who's going to stand up there and challenge Scottie Scheffler? Because right now, Scottie is just a big one. There is no others. Back in the 90s, we had the big three with Faldo, Norman, Langer. And then in the 2000s, we had Tiger, Vijay Singh, Ernie Els, Retief Hussain. That was the big four back then. Now there's a big one. There's no real central group of players around him. Yes, there are some that are right on the fringes below, but nobody that's even remotely competing with Scottie Scheffler.
All right, well, let me bounce back to you the question that you just posed to the world. Who is going to put some pressure on Scottie?
I'm going to have to say that potentially I think it's a toss-up between Xander Schauffele and Ludwig Åberg. I think Ludwig, he has his only weakness over the last couple of years has been he's got that one bad round. Typically, it'll come on a Saturday or a Sunday. But I think now he's comfortable enough with all the golf courses. He knows the venues, the ones that suit him, the ones that don't. And he's just such a spectacular talent. I think I look for him, and of course, a little bit of Swedish pride with myself. So I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit. But Xander is such a wonderful player as well. He hits the ball from left to right, right to left. And it's a little bit of that Tiger Woods type of shot making, where Scottie Scheffler just kind of is robotic and hits the shots just that's required at the moment and doesn't really try to do too much with it. But I look for Xander or Ludwig to be the ones that challenge Scottie this year.
Very cool. Since we will be sitting next to each other all week, my friend, I'm very much looking forward to it as part of the PGA Tour's World Television broadcast, which I think, if memory serves me, he's in 170 countries. Have you ever heard that figure?
Yes. Yeah, it goes all over the world. Literally every English-speaking country in the world, and some that are not, will be watching the World feed.
Fantastic.
This week.
How excited are you for all that lies in store with the Farmers Insurance Open, Brooks, Xander, and otherwise?
I mean, it's one of my favorite venues. One, for the fact that it was the first tournament I ever played in the United States at the Optimist Junior World back when I was 15 years old. My first ever hot dog I ever ate was at the halfway house at number 10th tee at the Torrey Pines kiosk there. And I remember it cost $3 and I had them. And my allowance for the week was $10. And I spent 6 of them on 2 hot dogs that I felt a bit guilty, but they were so good. And my love affair with America started right there.
There you go. I love that. Now, my friend, I was going to save this until after you left to give people the airtimes for PGA Tour Live. But since you're sitting here next to me, we're going to be in that building. I want to make sure everyone can see it right here and right now. The Farmers Insurance Open, Thursday and Friday. Coverage started, all these times are Eastern, starting at noon Eastern time until 7 p.m. Saturday from 11 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So Daniel's going to be able to sleep in just a little bit this week in our coverage. But I want to make sure that you were on time so you could see those air times, Daniel.
Well, I'm usually up around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning every day. So there'll be no problem me being there on time.
That's why you get grouchy later on in the afternoon.
Yeah, probably.
Good seeing you. Thank you so much for your insights, my friend, as always.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
We'll see you. All right. We'll be seeing him in studio. If you are watching us someplace outside of the United States, you can catch the PGA Tour's World Television broadcast, and we will be bringing you all the action. Otherwise, you saw the airtimes for PGA Tour Live. That is on ESPN. Plus, speaking of the airtimes, let's take you through what we have in store this week, and there's a lot that we have for you, both in the PGA Tour, LPGA Tour as well. Stay with us. Farmers Insurance Open coverage kicks off at noon on ESPN. Note, please, because Brooks is in the field, the coverage is starting on Thursday on ESPN at noon Eastern time at 3 p.m. Network coverage picks up on Golf Channel Saturday at 1 p.m. on Golf Channel and 3 p.m. on CBS. Sunday, 1 p.m. on Golf Channel and 3 p.m. on CBS. As for PGA Tour Radio, coverage on Thursday from 1 p.m. Eastern Time until the expected conclusion of play at 7. Saturday from 1. Sunday from 1. All of that, PGA Tour Radio. We were talking earlier in the show with Angela about the start of the LPGA season. It is the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions from the Lake Nona Club here in Orlando. Thursday from 11:30 a.m. That will be on Golf Channel. Friday from 11:30 a.m. on Golf Channel. Saturday from 3 to 5:30 p.m. again on Golf Channel. Sunday from 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can find that on NBC. What a day today. What a cool show it was to be able to go through so much of the news items that are circling around. Yeah, Scottie's a major news item. Obviously, what's going on with Brooks is a major news item. We had the reaction from different players about him coming back that we wanted to talk about as well. It's really a week in which there's so much going on. And when you think about it and you go, wait a minute, it's only January. I know the weather's been very harsh through much of the country, but, you know, I think about it in those days when, especially when I was on the green grass side of the business, the golf course is covered in a warm blanket of snow, and you're able to watch golf from paradise. You know, it looks so cool at this time of year when you can see those beautiful green golf courses and the best players in the world going at it. And that's exactly what will be happening this week at the Farmers Insurance Open. Thank you so much for your time. As ever, folks, until we are together again, be well and goodbye for now.